Hey there, I'm Christy Wilhelmi from Gardenerd. Whether you start your garden from seeds or from nursery transplants, seedlings, or starts, however you want to call them, there are a few things to know before you head to the nursery. The first thing is, nurseries are a business, and while I love shopping at nurseries, they're a lot of fun, you need to remember that they have limited shelf space and they're trying to get rid of what they have on the shelves. So they may not always be offering the best quality things because they're trying to get rid of stuff. So here's what to look for when you go to the nursery. The first thing to look for when you head to the nursery is for small plants. I know that sounds counterintuitive because if we think like our 4-year-old selves where, bigger is better and everything like that, when you look at a plant, look at the difference between what's above ground and what's below ground. You want those to be about the same. This is pretty good right here. There's this much root space and the plant is not that much bigger than that. These are even better over here. Shorter is better, right? Now, if you find a plant that's been in the pot for a long time, there's going to be a lot of roots in that base, in that soil base, and it's going to be circling like crazy. Don't be afraid to squeeze the pot and take the seedling out just to inspect it and see what the roots look like. This is good. Not too many roots, not wrapping around like crazy. We're in a good place with this. The second thing to look for is fruiting and flowering. And again, I know this sounds counterintuitive, but if you think about it, when you go to the nursery and say a nursery professional might say, this one already has flowers and fruit on it, and you might be inclined to buy that one. Think again. When you bring a plant home from the nursery and put it in the ground, if it already has flowers and fruit on it, it's going to send all of its energy toward ripening that fruit instead of making new roots, which is what we want it to do. So the trick here is, yes, you can buy that plant, but, and I know this hurts, you want to pinch off all the fruit and all the flowers before planting it in the ground. What does that do? It shifts the energy away from fruiting and flowering and down into making new roots. Because if you grow something that has flowers and fruit on it already, it will produce those flowers and fruit right away. But the next round might not happen for a while or at all if you have a short growing season. So pinch them off, break apart the root ball and stick it in the ground, and then when the plant is ready, after it's established good roots, then it'll give you like crazy. And the third thing to look out for when you're buying seedlings is bolting. A lot of seedlings like lettuces and arugula will do something when they get stressed. And even things like green onions and onions will do this too. If you see the plant getting taller in the center or a flower stalk jumping out of it, that means the plant has been stressed at the nursery and it's not a good choice. I've seen so many arugula plants at the nursery that are flowering, and the nursery will just cut those flowers off and try and keep selling it. Arugula is an annual. It's not going to come back from that. So keep your eyes peeled and look for those bolting plants before you buy. Okay, so with those 3 things in mind, which is soil to plant ratio, flowering and fruiting, and bolting to seed, you will have those tools in your arsenal to pick the best transplants at the nursery. If you like this video, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to find out when our next video comes online. Consider becoming a Patreon subscriber to support all the free stuff that we do here at Gardenerd. And check out our website, gardenerd.com, all of my books, Growing Your Own Mini Fruit Garden, Gardening for Geeks, and my novel, Garden Variety, and our online courses, which we have a couple now that you can take a look at to learn more about growing the best garden you can. Happy gardening.